So the first couple of questions in this declaration will ask you for your club details, admin details, as well as your club operating details. These details are important as all policy documentation will be sent to the nominated details provided on this declaration. Please ensure that the contact information is accurate so that all correspondence will be sent to an inbox that is attended to. So if we scroll down here, there's a few questions on ITC in particular. ITC is the tax that a business pays on a purchase that can reduce its tax liability when it makes a sale. If you're unsure what your ITC is, please contact your local tax agent. We should also note that most of these are compulsory. However, there are some, and it won't let you proceed if you don't answer. However, for some questions, such as the secondary contact here, that's not compulsory. In respect of the club membership, we should note that this should mirror your numbers on SurfGuard. So the next few questions are a few yes or no questions regarding the supporters club, subcons, and labour hire. So should any of these be a yes, it will prompt you to provide more details on the text box below. But if you click no, it shouldn't prompt you to do that. The supporters club should also complete their own declaration, which would make it easier for administrative purposes. So does your club contract labour hire, which contributes to the operation of the surf club? This is things such as catering or cleaners, etc. So should you click yes, it will also provide you with a text box to provide more detail below. So as we scroll through, as I said to you before, it will ask you for your club operating details. So these are things such as your revenue, your expenses, employees, wages, etc., and your prior year total. If you don't have your prior year total, feel free to email surflifesaving@marsh.com, where I can email a copy of your last year's deck for your reference. Total number of employees. If your club utilizes contractors, subcontractors, do they have an agreement? So generally for contractors, we advise that they hold their own insurance. And to verify that the contractor will have their own insurance, we recommend you to ask them to provide a copy of their certificate of currency, which basically confirms that they have coverage. So a few general risk practices down below, which should ask the club regarding their risk management practices. So the options are yes, no, and not applicable. Regarding the duty of disclosure, if you answer yes to any of these questions, please provide as much detail as possible. When you apply for an insurance policy, renew or extend your existing policy, you must declare to the insurer everything about your club situation that is relevant or could reasonably be expected to be relevant to the insurer's decision to insure your club. This is the duty of disclosure. All clubs must declare anything to insurers that may materially change the insurer's understanding of the club's risk. It is a condition of the club's management liability policy to advise the insurer of any possible claim made under the policy. Failure to do so may limit coverage and result in a subsequent increase in premium. So for any questions here, should there be a yes, it will prompt a text box to please provide details, whereby you can provide as much detail as you can regarding the claim or pending claim. Regarding the next couple of questions, the special risk questions, I should also note that the ISR, motor and marine sections of this declaration, which is further on, are customized cover based on whether your club has these policies through Marsh. However, all clubs are required to complete the liability section of the declaration. This enables Marsh to negotiate nationally with insurers to procure the best renewal outcome possible across the three policies. So in terms of special risk questions, should your club engage any of the above, especially inflatables, please provide further details below so we can advise whether your liability insurer will extend to this operation. Moving on, is there any other material information insurers should be made aware of? It's pretty self-explanatory there. Regarding the cover for coaches, please provide the number of employed and contracted coaches, if applicable. Cover is not provided for coaches while they undertake private squad or non-SLS related activities. Coaches who are employed by the club need to be declared, however, do not attract additional cost. Conversely, if the coach is a contractor, this will incur an additional cost to either the club or the individual, depending on the agreement. However, individual coaches can also procure the policy directly with Marsh, or the club can procure the policy on their behalf. So as you can see here, number of employed and contracted coaches there, as well as their name, if applicable only. Event insurance. So I know that most clubs tend to hold a fun run, an ocean swim or a swim classic or a pier to pub at some point of the year. So we just need to declare this to ensure that the liability cover will extend. If your club organizes or hold these events, are they open to the member of the public? Ultimately, this will need to go through the states, your respective state's special events application, where they may be subject to an 80 cents plus stat charges per participant fee. It is imperative that as much information as possible is provided about these events to ensure continuity of the coverage paired with sustainable rates at renewal. I should also note that the 80 cent plus stat charges will only provide public liability cover and not personal injury cover for the event. The club needs to ensure that the entry terms and conditions are drafted accordingly. However, Marsh cannot provide guidance on waivers because they're a legal statement, but the state office may be able to help depending on the situation. Does your club or association operate any of the following as part of their operations? So yes, no. Again, as before, if you click yes, it will prompt you to provide more details. Moving on, does the surf club allow members or non-members for the use of their gym? It is highly advisable by both the insurer and Marsh that clubs leave the gym supervised at all times, regardless of who's using it, and keep a log of who is using it. This will ensure that full liability cover will extend should a claim arise. Does your club operate drone or remotely piloted aircraft? So if you click yes, UAV cover will only extend to drones below 2 kilos. And we should add if declared. So moving on, please attach a copy of the latest audited financial statements for the club if available. Moving on to the financial line side of the national program. The association and crime policies are insured on a claims made basis. This means that any circumstances that may lead to a claim must be disclosed to insurers before the end of the current insurance period. If your club is aware of any circumstances that could lead to a claim, please click yes on the applicable questions below. As per previous questions, should you click yes, it will prompt you to give more details on the claim. Failure to disclose a claim may result in any claim that arises from those circumstances being uninsured. So there's a few yes/no questions in respect of your association liability cover and your financial lines. If it doesn't let you proceed from here, I would suggest this as an opportunity to say if any question is missed, you will be prompted to answer this question.